Hello everybody, AJ Ryzik here. Today we are taking a look at Elementary OS Freya. Now I've been looking at this kind of on and off as it's been going through its alpha and beta phases, and of course it has been a long time coming. I think we've been waiting something like almost 2 years for it. So for those of you that are big Elementary OS fans, it is finally here. And for a lot of people, I think this is the right distribution, and for some people, that is not the right distribution. So we'll take a look at it here and talk about what I found out as I've been playing around with it, and you can see if it's for you or maybe it's not for you. So let's start out by taking a look at the desktop itself, and it's very nice looking, and that's always been a hallmark of the Elementary OS distributions. Very nice looking. Wallpaper's good. It's a nice clean theme. The icons look good. Across the top bar, I like how they've gone with the transparency now. It's simple, it's clean, nice to look at. Really, really nice. Now the distribution uses its very own desktop environment called Pantheon. It's written from scratch in Vala. Looking at it, you would think that it's Gnome 3 or customized Gnome 3, but it is their own creation. Now Pantheon is available now for other distributions. Especially I know quite a few people in Arch that are running Pantheon, and they like running it there. I believe you can also add it to other Ubuntu distributions. I've heard of some people in Debian running it as well. I really like Pantheon. I mean, it's not for me, but I like where they're going with it from the standpoint. It's nice, simple, easy to use, nice to look at. Kind of continuing along with the easy to use theme, and actually that's kind of a lot of the theming behind everything in Elementary OS. It's easy to use, simple interface, that sort of thing. Clicking on your applications, rather than a drop-down menu, you've got sort of a visual menu. Now it still does tell you what the name of the application, but I like that you got nice big icons there. Easy to work with. You've also got a search bar up here so that you can type what you're looking for, and boom, find it that way. And for those of you that are like me and are keyboard driven kind of people, that's a nice feature to have. You can also go and switch your view to something like this, which is categorized rather than just all applications. So very nice there. Here in the center we have drop down calendar and time as well. The only thing I would love to see is some kind of integration here, so that if you're running Google Calendar, that can be integrated with that. And then of course we've got our tray icons over here on the side. The applications in Elementary kind of follow that whole simple and easy to use kind of theme, and some of these were written specifically for Elementary. They've tried to unify their theming and make them all look sort of uniform. Luckily, for the most part, it kind of goes along with the theming that Gnome, the Gnome 3 applications use. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar. So if you're adding in applications that are, say, Gnome 3 applications, they're not going to look all that out of place in Elementary OS. But talking about the various applications that we've got here, of course we've got an archive manager, disk burner, calculator. Calendar is one that I want to take a look at here. And I've been using, as this has been in development, I've been using it. Very nice calendar application on the outside, sleek, very nice looking. And they had calendar in the past, but I mean, this was all you got. There was no integration. We now have the integration. I believe, yeah, you click on the little gear icon, click on new calendar, And if you want to integrate your Google Calendar, you just type in your name, put all your data in there, and boom, it integrates. And I'm not going to do it now, but all of your Google Calendar events pop up. You can go and add events to your calendar here, and it'll sync with your Google Calendar. Nice, easy to use. It'll list your upcoming events right over here. So nothing super special, just simple features, easy to use. Just kind of got the basics there. And I got a little frustrated with this camera application, and it's probably not going to work right now because I'm running cheese. I found that I was able to maximize it to completely fill the screen, or when you hit the unmaximize, it would go to this size, but never, I couldn't manually change the size of the window, which kind of killed it for my purpose of using it in place of cheese down here during the while I was doing my video casting. So kind of bummer on that one, because I would have rather not had to add cheese and you just use that natively, but oh well. We've got our document viewer here. File manager. File manager looks a lot like the Gnome files. A little bit different, but very much like it. And I like that we got tabs. I would rather see a dual pane, that sort of view, but tabs will work. Not a whole lot of options as far as what you can do in your drop down menu here. But at the same time, since Elementary is geared for the newer user, the more inexperienced user, simple interface, and that, I really wouldn't expect it to have some of those more advanced features like open as root, copy to, copy here, that sort of thing. Anyway, let's see, where was I? I've talked previously about Geary, and I've done a few reviews on Geary as it's developed. Very nice email application, love it. My one criticism here in Elementary OS is, this is kind of, where Geary got its start. You would think they'd have the latest version of Geary, but they don't. It's at version 0.8.3 here, and on my main desktop I'm running 0.10. So why they're not keeping this updated to the latest one, I don't know. My guess is they're pulling down from the Ubuntu repositories, and since in the Ubuntu repositories Geary's still back at version 8.3, that's what you got here. That's my guess anyway. Midori is not developed, or was not developed specifically for Elementary, but I think it really fits in with their overall theming of simple, easy to use, but very effective. And I've used Midori in the past. It's a very nice browser. It does not have all the features of, say, Firefox or Chrome. It's a browser, period. Not all that extra functions in that. If you click on the little gear menu right over here and go to preferences, you'll see there's some startup, some different behavior and toolbar style, that kind of thing, how to theme it, and that. A little bit of network options, privacy options. I do like this here, how soon to delete the cookies, or make it so that you can't save the cookies, and then some real basic plugins right here. And the one that I really like myself is this colorful tabs. To me, that's very useful if you're someone that you're used to having multiple tabs open at one particular time. Each tab gets its own color. Really like that feature. Elementary is fairly light on the resources. Much lower on RAM than either Firefox or Chrome. Not quite as fast as those two, but pretty fast. So next up, let's take a look. There's the music browser. Once again, nice, simple, clean interface. Import your music. You'll have a library along here. You got a couple of different interface options and simple controls. Once again, simple, easy to use, clean interface. Kind of sticking with the overall theme here. And you could say the same thing about where is it? The video video application. One thing I really liked about the video application, if you're watching a video, it will pick up, and you stop the application, it will pick up where the next time you open it, it'll pick up where you left off. So really neat feature there. I love that in a video player. Close it. And like I said, simple, easy to use controls. Not a whole lot of fancy features. Just a simple video player that works. Tried a couple different video codecs on it. It seemed to play pretty much anything that I threw at it. Didn't get a chance to run it through the full gamut, but so I don't know if it's the equivalent of say VLC as far as being able to play everything, but everything that I threw at it seemed to run just fine. Multitasking view. This is neat, and they've got an icon for it down here on the desktop, and you can actually enable it via a keyboard shortcut as well. And let me go and open a couple applications so you can see how this thing works. We'll open that and our files, and I don't know, let's open the calendar too. So we've got all those applications open. Hit the multitasking view, and it pulls it all open, so you can see all the various applications that are currently running. Very similar to what you see in the Gnome desktop. And then from here you can go and move stuff to another desktop environment. So let's say I wanted to drag this down to that desktop, pull this down on this one, and boom, there you go. And so using the left and right arrow keys, I can switch between the open applications on this particular desktop. Then I can switch to this desktop, switch to that one, and then by clicking on whatever desktop you select, boom, you're back in business. So really neat feature. Like I said, keyboard shortcut for it as well. So if you're like me and are a keyboard driven person, you can run that all by the keyboard without playing around with that mouse. Photo viewer is shot well. We see that in a lot of distributions these days. Once again, very nice photo application. Scratch is their text editor. Once again, simple interface, easy to use. Not a whole lot of features, but in a basic text editor, you really don't need a whole lot of features. Simple screenshot tool, a scanner tool. Of course, I added simple screen recorder, and the bane of Ubuntu users, the Ubuntu Software Center is here. And as you can see down here, I added Synaptic just so I didn't have to deal with that monstrosity. Terminal, same kind of deal, very simple, easy to use. You really don't need a whole lot of features in a terminal. And here's our system settings. Pull that up so you can take a look here. We've got our application settings, desktop. Most of these you're kind of familiar with. The one thing I would recommend that you add, if you're the kind of person like me that likes to tweak your desktop, make changes, all that kind of stuff, and let me go and pull it up here. I would recommend, and here's an article from Web Update. I will throw a link up on the down in the video description so you can go take a look at this. The elementary tweaks, and we had elementary tweaks in the previous version of Elementary. And let me go and pull this up so you can get a little better view of what we got here. Well, I thought those images expanded. There we go. So it gives you a whole bunch of tweaks that you can make to some of the various integrated applications, but then also some appearance, fonts, how your shadows are, the animation speed, that kind of thing. So you want to add a different icon set. Down on Plank, you want to change the size of the icons. Just all kinds of different tweaks that you can do. So if you're interested in being able to customize the look of your Elementary, definitely get that tweak tool. And like I said, I will throw a link up to that article so you can go there and get the PPA so that you can download that thing and all this kind of stuff. One of the things that I've got to give the Elementary team a big thumbs up for is notifications. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any notifications popping up right now, but if I did, right here underneath the tray, that's where they will show up. They are clickable, so if you want to click them closed, or maybe there's some specific action that needs to be taken with that particular notification, you can do that. But it kind of continues with that whole clean theme, simple, easy to use, all that sort of thing. So like I said, very, very nice notification system. So here's some of the issues that I kind of ran into with this distribution. Why I said it may be great for some people and not for others. First, it doesn't come with an Office suite. That part of it isn't a big deal. You can add whatever Office suite that you want to. Unfortunately, since it is based on Ubuntu 14.04, which is now over, roughly a year old, the software is going to be somewhat outdated. So like if you want to go and add LibreOffice, I think in the 14.04 repositories that it's at version 4.2, current version's 4.4. So you are going to need to add additional PPAs so that if you want to get the most recent software, like in the case of LibreOffice, you're going to need to add that LibreOffice PPA, and so on and so forth. Like I said, that's not a real big deal. I know a lot of people do the Google Docs thing and online documents these days, so it's not as big of a deal as it used to be. And like I said, it's simple enough to go and add an Office suite. But I didn't quite get why they don't include an Office suite with this distribution when just about every other Linux distribution out there does. So there's that. And like I said, that one's kind of a small deal. Another issue, and a lot of people are reporting this online, is if you try to change to a different theme, there's a lot of themes out there that just aren't compatible with Elementary. You end up with mega size header bars, icons are acting all goofy, and I'm not exactly sure what the issue is. I really haven't had enough time to go and completely investigate that. It may be come down to GTK theming, incompatible. The theme that they're using is not compatible with, I don't know whether they're on GTK 3.14 here, 3.16, 3.12. I'm not exactly sure, but that may be the issue, is an incompatibility there. Not exactly sure on that one, but like I said, if you are the kind of person that likes to go and change your desktop around, customize it, you may be in for somewhat of an uphill battle. Another is talking about the icons. I like the icon set that they have here, but it is fairly incomplete. You know, you don't have a lot of the icons for many of the more popular third-party applications like I don't know, GIMP, Inkscape. You know, I don't even know if there's a LibreOffice icon included. So, you know, if you are going to add other applications, one, it's very likely that your icon, if you put it down here on your dock, it's probably not going to match the theming of the other elementary icons. If you go and switch to a different icon theme, you know, be sure that it's one that's going to be compatible with elementary, and you don't end up with the gigantic icons, or you know, no icons displaying at all. So that one's going to be kind of a hit or miss thing. So like I said, if you know, if you're the kind of person that likes to tweak the desktop, this might not be the distribution for you. Issues that I ran into, the biggest one came down to additional drivers. I have an AMD graphics card on this computer, could not install the proprietary driver. And I've been, since this is based on Ubuntu 14.04, I figured, you know, hey, this is going to be just like installing it on Ubuntu 14.04, you know, no problem or whatnot. No, it was, I finally just gave up on trying to install the driver. You know, I initially went to, you know, just pull down the additional drivers, and you know, you'll get the little pop-up here that tells you the available drivers, and I tried installing it from here, could not do it. Then I figured, well, I'll just go to the AMD website, pull it down from there, because you're going to get the latest driver from there anyway, and install that. No, that didn't work. And then I thought, well, maybe because I tried installing from here and it didn't work, you know, that's why I might have, you know, got part of the package installed. Maybe I need to do a purge. No, that didn't work. I tried a fresh installation and then installing the proprietary driver from AMD on the fresh install. No, it didn't work. So I don't know what the issue is, but looking around on G Plus the past day or so, a lot of people are having the same problem. So I don't know what the issue is. You know, like in here, let me go and I'll click on there, and nothing. It just tends to freeze up and lock up on you. Yeah, and then it goes right back to the Xorg driver. So, you know, major pain right there. Like I said, other distributions based on Ubuntu 14.04, I had no problem. I was able to either, you know, install from the additional drivers or pull that driver down from AMD and install, you know, right away, no issues. So to kind of sum things up, this is a great desktop if you want to go and install this. You got the long-term support. You're not somebody that's going to have to add, or not going to want to add a whole bunch of extra software. You know, you just want to run with it the way it is. This is a great distribution because it's relatively fast, relatively light on resources. You know, if you're looking for something where, you know, you can just sit down and check your email and cruise on the net, this is a great distribution. You know, listen to some music, watch some movies, great distribution. I said it's sort of a pain in the butt for those who want to tweak their desktop. You're going to need to add that elementary tweaks tool. And even then, a lot of the themes, a lot of icon themes, a lot of desktop themes, they're not going to work out for you. So it's going to be some trial and error, maybe a little bit of frustration, maybe a lot of frustration if you want to try and install proprietary drivers. That being said, you know, it is a good distribution for a new user to the Linux world. You know, I used an earlier version of Elementary. It might have been Luna, it might have even been the previous version. But anyway, I used that when I first started getting into Linux. Nice distribution. You know, for somebody just getting their feet wet in the Linux world, yeah, this is a good distribution. For the more advanced user, probably not. There's going to be a lot of features that are lacking here, and the operating system is not going to be user-friendly if you want to go and add a whole lot of stuff to it. Anyway, that about finishes this review up. I hope you enjoyed it. Give a big old thumbs up if you liked it. Please comment, leave questions, all that kind of stuff down below. Subscribe if you are not a subscriber, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.